guys, I'm Tanya and welcome back to my channel, The Donkey Business. Today I'm going to talk about a few movies, documentaries and shows that I've recently watched on Netflix and what I think about it. So here are my recommendations and my review list. The first thing that I actually watched on Netflix is called Elvis. It's about the music icon, the music superstar Elvis Presley, who literally was a sensation and changed a lot of things in the world of music and entertainment. So the movie is directed by Baz Luhrmann, who is also the director of The Great Gatsby, Moulin Rouge, and when you see a director like that directing the documentary or the story of Elvis Presley, you obviously have a lot of expectations. The cast is also very nice. It's got Austin Butler and Tom Hanks, so you know that everything in the movie when it comes to director and a cast, production value in general cannot go wrong, and it did not go wrong. I had a few issues with the writing and the editing, but in terms of production and acting, I think it was a great film. So when the movie started, I thought that it was a pretty slow and confusing movie, and his entire, he became a sensation and he grabbed a lot of eyeballs because of his pelvic move and what he did with his movements. But I feel that when they were trying to show that in the movie, it was not that intense. It did not create an impact where I was like, oh my god, what is he doing? It was just like, sure. And even when it came to the timeline, I can understand that it's based long time ago, so at that time a pelvic move like that would be very interesting and intriguing, but he did not create a timeline where I actually went back in time. For me, it was just like, sure, it's a movie of 2024, but it was based years back. I didn't feel that with the kind of production design or storytelling he had. That is the problem I had with it. Even when that part came when he was fighting in the house and he moved out of his house, the whole editing and the direction did not create an impact. It did not go hand in hand. Either it was the direction that lacked or editing that lacked, but I think that it was just not intense enough, because I have seen a lot of documentaries and stars that emerge from poorish families and get big, and the kind of intensity that they show in such films is such that you're immersed in that character, and I think that it did not work for me in that way in terms of Elvis. And the thing that I really did not like in the movie at all was that he used rap by new rappers, as example Doja Cat. Doja Cat was not even there at that time, so I wish that he did not use that kind of rap and everything, because it just created a very mix of timeline film, Doja Cat is a new rapper and she's rapping right now, so to put her music in the movie just disbalances the whole timeline of the film, which I did not like. Sure, he was inspired by the black moves in terms of how they react to music, and then the white were against it because they thought that it was sexual, and then he goes to the army and then he comes back and then he becomes the highest paid actor in the entertainment business. All of that was just so rushed. It felt like his life had so much to tell. Probably the issue was that either 2.5 hours was less for such an intense story, or he should have just made it into a series so that he has more time and you can get immersed into the character. I don't know why. A lot of people have liked Elvis, but for me, if I didn't know who's Elvis and I would just watch his movie, I think I would not get inspired and I would not Google him to see, his music and what he did and how he danced, because it was very scattered and it did not inspire me as such. But because I know Elvis and I know of his music, it kind of was interesting for me. But I am sorry, I am not the biggest fan of Elvis, which is currently streaming on Netflix. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. The next thing that I watched is called Living with Leopards, and it's a documentary also streaming on Netflix. It's about these 4 guys who are huge in wild photography, and they follow this leopard family, and the leopard families just have had kids. So it shows about how the leopard mom and dad train their kids, how they have new kids, how they have a whole mating session. They've not shown the mating, but they've shown of how it starts and everything, how they have an emotional bond but still don't have an emotional bond. It's set in Africa, and these 4 wildlife photographers, 4 or 5 of them actually travel there and live there for a year or something like that or more, and it shows about how they teach their kids to hunt, how they have an emotional disbalance, they have some emotions. It's a very interesting documentary. If you're into animals or not into animals, you're still going to like it. It's got the correct pace and there are so many animals, you'll really have fun watching it. I was totally into it. It's just 1.5 hours, very informative and very cool. And when it comes to animals, we think that they're such cool beings, they have no feelings and they just move on after giving birth, but that's not the case. They have so much drama, love, hate, jealousy, who's the king of the jungle, how they pray for food. It's amazing. I really liked it. It's a good documentary to watch. It's called Living with the Leopards and it's available on Netflix. The third thing that I watched is also on Netflix. It's called Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and it's a very cute movie. If you have seen the movie Florida Project, then I think you're gonna like this movie as well, because the movie is based on like kids and teenagers, but like adulting kids and teenagers, and it's really nice. So it starts nice and fast about a young family moving to the other side, and the girl is in like the sixth grade. So what she goes through in the process of moving to a new place, making friends, having a crush for the first time, new school, and all of that. And it's very well written and cute in terms of a child-based film. It's like Gossip Girls but younger version, because it's about like these four girls who become like a group of friends, and then they're like gossiping and talking about like changes in the body and stuff like that. And it's very nice of things that they try to do to look pretty and have like these tea sessions and all. It's very cute. I like the movie. It's got like a good pace and flow. It has a cute concept. She talks to God about how she is feeling and grows through womanhood. When I was watching the movie, I had like total nostalgia moments, because they have scenes where they're giving like 2 minutes in the closet kind of a thing, and they're trying to like grow their boobs and all. And it was really fun and nostalgic. And then there's like a first kiss scene and everything. So it's a good movie. It's like a feel good film, well directed, well written, good acting. I really liked it. I highly recommend it. It's called Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. It's a nice film. The next one that I watched is called Downsizing, which is a relatively older film. Like, it released 4-5 years back, I think, and had a very interesting concept. I had seen the first half of the film, or like 20 minutes of the film, but I never finished it. But I watched it now very recently, and it's really cool. It's about people who downsize in life and height to have a better life. So basically, it's like a futuristic world where people like us, who are like 5'4" or something, 5'5", we downsize to this height, and we move to like another land where we basically have like everything becomes cheaper, you generate less waste, you don't have to like be a part of the whole government and all of that, you don't have to pay taxes. So they basically downsize their life to live a better life. And if you are not very rich in your real life, like if you're moderately rich, then you become extremely rich in the downsizing life. So a lot of people do that to kind of have a better lifestyle. Basically, it's about this couple where the guy downsizes himself and the girl gets cold feet, and she like goes out of it. So now he's downsized himself alone as a couple, and he's just like, what the hell am I supposed to do? So when the movie was still here, it was really interesting and I was so into it, but I don't know what happened. It just became so boring after that. It just like lost the plot, and I was so confused about what's happening. And there was an Asian girl also in the movie, and her accent was so bad, like it was so cliche, and I was getting irritated when she was talking, because all Asians don't talk like that. And it was getting a bit annoying. The Vietnamese accent was just not working for me, and I honestly then did not finish the movie. And yeah, I did not like it, but the whole concept was really cool, and it's like a nice movie. If you want to try watching, you might just like it. The next thing that I watched is called Good Grief, which is also a 2024 movie on Netflix, and David from Schitt's Creek is in the movie. His real name is Dan Levy, and I really like him as an actor. I've seen 1 or 2 of his other films as well, and Good Grief is a movie where he's playing one of the lead primary characters, and it's about this couple who are homosexual and they're married, David being one of them, and he loses his husband. So he goes into like this whole grieving moment with his friends, and his friends are also going through, one is going through a breakup, one is going through another patch. So like these 3 friends are going through a lot in terms of like what they should be doing to get out of their relationships. And it's a nice movie, but again, it kind of lost the plot, and the second half is something I did not like, and so I did not finish the film. You might like it. I don't know if you're into such films, but Good Grief is something that I don't really recommend, but it was not that bad as well, So yeah, so these are the things that I watched on Netflix very recently. It's a good bunch and mix of movies of different genres. You might like them, you might not like them, but let me know what you have seen from the list that I just spoke about, and what you thought about it. And if you have any recommendations for me, please do let me know, because I would love to watch the films that you recommend to me. Thank you so much, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.